by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
It's time to steer the line.
Touchdown!
Sports betting, fantasy football, and the latest NFL news. Featuring Loud Esmond, Christian Giordani, Rocky Giordani, and Jeremy James. Bet on us to make you a better better.
What?
Let's get ready to steer the line.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to another segment of Steer the Line. I'm your host, Christian Giordani. We have Mr. Loud Esmond here, Mr. Jeremy James. How you guys doing so far?
Good. And I will say, Jeremy, you actually have sort of a Raiders goatee going now. It's silver and black.
Yeah, it's been going that way for a while now. It's getting more silver than it is black, though.
Yeah, it's look at the top of my head. Been that nice gray white color for about 15 years now. I didn't have a gray hair on my head, and then I got married, had kids, and my business partner tried to destroy my business, and in like 6 months I went gray. So
I remember.
There you go. Kind of crazy. By the way, since this is a betting show, because in honor of Christian, I actually have some baseball picks to throw out there for the audience tonight.
This is fun for me. Jeremy, you can take your nap.
I am not a baseball fan, but I was asked by a couple of the sites that I do prognosticating for, hey, can you do some baseball picks? Because there's not that many football games going on right now. The XFL is winding down. The championship is this weekend. So a couple of weeks ago, I started making baseball picks. Well, I'm 14-4, which is just dumb. I mean, I know nothing about the sport, but all I'm doing is I look at the overall team record against team record. I look for starting pitchers that I recognize who are really good, like Kershaw is going tonight for the Dodgers. I like the Dodgers. Oh, go Dyers.
Los Dodgers.
Let's Doyers. I like the Dodgers to win against the Padres tonight. Yu Darvish, yeah, he's bedeviled the Dodgers in the past. He's only 1-2 this year. His ERA is like 3.60, and he's getting no run support when he pitches. So, did I just say that? I did. That's much deeper than I normally go. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the other thing that I'm doing is there's this site called Ballpark Buddy. It tells you the weather conditions for every baseball game, and it projects what the weather conditions are going to do in terms of overall run production. Because where do you get a lot of runs in baseball? When the ball leaves the ballpark. When the wind is blowing off the ocean in Oakland, Jeremy, what does that do to the conditions at the stadium?
For the Las Vegas A's, you mean? See, I know that about baseball.
When it's cold, when it's wet, when it's windy in the right direction, meaning blowing into the ballpark, overall run production goes down.
Yep.
So I have a very simple thing going. When there's bad weather, I take the under. When there's a good pitcher on the mound for one team, I take that team on the money line. And when, the Yankees are playing the Royals, a total freaking mismatch, I'll take the Yankees minus 1.5 runs. Those are your options in baseball betting. In baseball betting, it's just like hockey. You can take a money line, and sometimes the money line is ridiculous. Like Yankees versus Royals would probably be something like Yankees minus 250 on the money line, which means you have to bet $2.50 to win $1. I don't like that. If you take the minus 1.5, you might get those odds down to like minus 125. And when you have a total mismatch, 2 runs isn't that much to beat them by. So it's a very simple way I'm doing it. It's working right now. It may not work long-term, Christian, but it's working for me so far.
Yeah. You know what? I'm an advanced analytics guy with baseball. That is my exact major, statistical analysis of sabermetrics, the science of baseball, the study of baseball. So Yeah, I agree with Lou on this one, or Loud. I'm sorry. The Dodgers get the win here. Kershaw gets the win in total. My biggest prediction of the whole game, though, is Tatis or Machado hits a home run in this game. And every season since Manny Machado has came to San Diego, the first time they have played each other in the season, one of those two hits a home run off Kershaw. So take that bet.
All right, Jeremy, your thoughts on all this baseball product?
No, I'll tell you, the more you guys talk about baseball, the more I do long for the hot dog, the nachos with the cheese. I want the junk food so bad. To wash it down with the like $15 beer. And then I want to eat one of those. Do they still have those ice creams in the cup with the spoon?
Oh, the
Those
carnation malt.
They still make those?
Yes. Yeah, they do.
I need a hot dog with onions. I need the nachos with the jalapenos.
Onions and mustard.
Yeah. 2 beers and then the ice cream. I need it
you
now.
know, baseball is one of those games that is much better in person than it is on television.
Yeah.
The experience of going to a game. You know what I used to love is what they call the businessman specials. This is a game that is like at 1 o'clock or 12:30 on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. It gives you an excuse to leave the office or ditch classes for the day. And it's great. You leave the office in like midday, go catch a ball game. Lunch is a couple of dogs and some nachos and an expensive light beer. By the way, Coors Light sales are up something like 78%. I wonder what could have caused that. Oh, the advertising person at Bud Light is an idiot. That's what caused that.
Yep.
Just throwing it out there. Anyway, Jeremy, I'm with you. I like live baseball. You know what else is better in person? Hockey.
Oh, yeah. Hockey's great.
I'm
not a big hot guy. This is where I become Jeremy and just...
See, I love playoff hockey, except, Kings were done after the first round, so I've already stopped watching.
They did better than expected. The Kings did better than expected. I didn't think they'd win that first game against the Oilers, and they did.
Yeah, two years in a row, though, that the Oilers have knocked them out. But I think the Oilers are on their way to the Stanley Cup this year, so I can't be too upset about it. That team is just really that good. But yeah, no, hockey is fantastic live. Even if you if you're
if you don't know anything about it,
well, just head down to Ontario and catch the rain games.
Yeah,
it's super cheap. It's right there. They got, and it's a great time. So you get some seats on the glass. So much fun.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's talk a little hockey. I've got the Devils tonight. That game is just about to start, and it's the Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes won game one. I like the Devils here tonight, Jeremy.
Yeah, I like the Devils. Like I said, I'm not paying a whole lot of attention now, but I do know where I think the playoffs are going, and yeah, I think the Devils are going to win tonight. I like them to take this series, actually.
You know who keeps burning me? The Panthers. Every time I think the Panthers are going to lose, and I bet against them, and they burn me. And they burned me again last night. Here's the question. Do you think it was an epic collapse by the Bruins of Boston, or are your cousin from Boston is sad?
I was waiting for that one.
Or, the Panthers, they just beat the Hurricane. I mean, they just beat, they're 2-0 against the next team they're up against. And I was like, okay, they're going to have a hangover after beating the Bruins. They come out and win. Are the Panthers that good? Did we miss a story here?
I think the Panthers are just they're on a hot streak right now, and you can't ignore that when you're in the playoffs. Well, any playoff situation, any sport, if you go in hot and you can keep that streak going, you have to be considered a legit contender, at least, deep into the playoff series. So yeah, I don't know if they're that good, but they are a solid team who's gotten hot at the right time.
Yeah, the Panthers knocked out, they were down 3-1 against the best team in the league, who had the best record, who set the record for wins, points, everything, in the Boston Bruins. And your cousin from Boston is suicidal. And then the Panthers come out, and I was like, the Panthers aren't going to win game 1 against the Leafs. The Leafs have extra rest. They're on home ice. And the Panthers win 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next game, I'm like, there's no way the Panthers win again.
And then they win 3-2.
1, 2, 3, 4 games in a row. No way they're going 5. And they win 3-2. After the Leafs were up 2-0. I had the Leafs in that game. They're up 2-0 the first period. I'm like, woohoo, I got this one. Nope.
Can't ignore a hot team, especially in hockey. If they can, you can get into the playoffs and score like they have been and making those comebacks. You cannot ignore a team playing that way.
Now,
As a guy who studies stats, the only thing that will screw you every time is momentum. A team that has momentum will screw your numbers every single time.
Because the Big Mo don't know no. N-O. The Big Mo don't know.
Okay.
Just saying.
Before my time.
The Maple Leafs, by the way, now go to the Panthers for 2 games. They could be eliminated before they get back to Toronto.
Could be.
Yeah, they could.
Because they got to be in a little bit of
Wednesday.
shock. They got to travel after losing 2 at home. They're feeling a little shell shocked. So let's see. Let's see if the Panthers can keep it going.
I don't like the Leafs in either of these next 2 games because the Panthers just think they're bulletproof. And like Christian said, when you think you're bulletproof, when you're on a roll like that, the hockey net right now to the Panthers is the size of a soccer goal. I mean, it's just, we can do anything. That's a tough one to beat. I know, as the outstanding athlete that I never was, I'll say this. When you're on a roll as an actor,
no.
Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's hockey and
baseball
prognosticating for this weekend.
Now I got to know who do you got in Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz in a boxing match?
Oh God, not this.
2 guys I would love to see just beat each other's face to a pulp. I can't wait until they beat each other up. It'd be wonderful.
Jake Paul lost to Tommy Fury. I'm right?
Yes, he did. That was his first loss.
Yeah, his first loss of his career. Thank God.
But this is also Nate Diaz's first professional boxing match.
But
so
how tall is Nate? Nate Diaz is like 6'6", isn't he?
No, he's not that big.
He's a tall guy, though.
He's lanky.
He is lanky. But you know what? As much as I hate Jake Paul, he does got that power in him. He's 38.
I think Jake Paul's going to beat him.
Yeah,
Jake
Paul's going to win that.
This is 2 people I would love to see just punch each other in the face for 12
2 people
rounds
that
and not be able to talk for a while. Yeah. Just can't stand either one of them.
Okay, well, Jeremy has weighed in on the boxing match. XFL championship this weekend.
Is that this weekend or next weekend?
Is
thought
it
it was
this
like
weekend?
I thought it was the 13th or something like that.
It is next weekend.
Sorry.
There's a week in between.
They do the Super Bowl thing and give a week
May
off?
13th.
I guess so. They want to hype it up.
Oh, that's stupid.
I have no idea why they do it either, but
I already placed a bet on that game, and now I'm going to wake an the sports prognosticators should probably be aware of that.
Here we are.
It's not even being played this weekend, and I already
it's on
got
the
my bet
13th.
down.
Yeah, Jeremy's right.
Here we are, a betting show, and Loud's betting on games, doesn't even know when they're being played. That's how we promote things around here.
That's how professional we are over here,
That's
guys.
right. I am on top of it.
Next week we're gonna have Loud's bowling championships prognosticators, and I think
I am
women's
14
lacrosse.
and 4 in baseball bets over the past 2 weeks. Just saying.
What you got on the Lakers, Lou?
Ah,
You know
man.
what? I actually won several bets on the Lakers and the Kings, which is why somebody else was commenting, what are you doing betting on basketball? You don't bet on basketball. And I said, my dad's law firm had season tickets to the Kings when I was in high school. So
When was that?
I
1935,
oh, it was
36?
no, it was 38. It was 38. It was a couple of years after that the Kings first came to Sacramento. Yeah. So I'm same age as Anthony Maglica. I'm 92. Just throwing it out there. I look very good for 92, though. All right, let's talk a little. Let's talk a little. No, let's talk a little USFL, shall we? Jeremy, take it away.
Yeah, I've watched very, very, very little USFL, to be honest with you. Very, very little. I'm sorry, it is not as fun as the XFL.
The XFL was better so far.
So much better. The crowd is not into it. You know, there is
no crowd.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's no. It's not holding my attention at all. They've been able to be really quick about merging with the XFL and getting those teams their own stadiums really fast because USFL is not going to last.
Yeah, okay. So here's the thing: the Birmingham Stallions are the only team that has a home field advantage because the only home stadium is Birmingham.
Yeah.
Everybody else just kind of rotates and plays wherever. It's like, why were they playing in Detroit last weekend? What?
Yeah.
If the XFL can pull off stadiums for these teams, why can't the USFL? There's got to be colleges.
Why does the NFL let the USFL play games in Canton? Does that make any sense to anybody?
You got to have a home team or no one's going to show up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to walk out to see two random teams from back east play a game just because it happens to be here. Give me a team that I want to see from near my city and I'll go.
Yeah, you need something to root for, man. You can't just root for randos.
Oakland needs a team in some kind of league now. Get them a USFL or a XFL team.
That wouldn't be a bad idea at all because then there would be an even worse stadium than the one in Vegas.
There you go.
While we're on this, the NFL is announcing that they will have an expansion, 2 expansion teams by 2028.
What?
So what are some teams?
Whoa. Where did you see that?
I saw that earlier this week.
I want this confirmed.
I haven't seen anything. Sources.
All right, well, while we're on the subject, what are some cities you guys would love to see a team in?
You know where it's going to be? Mexico City.
Yes. I love Mexico City.
You're going to have a team in Mexico City, and you're going to have a team in London.
Mexico City, I love. Bring football to Mexico.
London's kind of far.
That's the problem. That's a 6-hour difference on the East Coast.
Do they stick an NFL team in Canada?
Can you imagine the security that you would have to have around NFL players living in Mexico City and their families?
I don't think they would live there.
Yeah.
They would live in Southern California or Texas, and they would just fly down.
Fly in for the game.
Yeah.
Oh, so they would have a practice facility and everything in San Diego.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, by the border. And then they would
fly in for the games, and the Mexican army would escort them back and forth to the airport. Because that's the only way. If I'm an NFL player, I'm going there.
I don't trust no cop in Mexico. That's for
sure.
No,
I want the U.S. Special Forces. I want the Navy SEALs protecting my football team. And oh, by the way, if I'm an NFL player and I play for the Mexico City Banditos or whatever,
Diablos, whatever, yeah.
I'm telling my wife and kids, you are never coming to a game. Stay home, watch it on TV.
So this is supposed to happen by 2028?
2028, yeah. So that's about 5 years from now.
I'm trying. Are there any, cities in, here in the States that could use a team where they can get a stadium built that's big enough to support it?
Portland.
St. Louis. Oh, Portland, no way.
I don't think so.
No. Portland, No.
St. Louis would love to have a team again.
St. Louis,
absolutely.
San Diego would need a team again. I would love to see a team San Diego.
Oh, I could see that too.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Mhm.
I don't
It's
know.
another- yeah.
I'm trying to. I don't want to. I mean, I don't need another team in Texas.
You know, one of the biggest football states ever, Alabama, doesn't have a NFL team.
But do they have a big enough city?
That's the thing. Can they support a full team? I mean, some of these states are, they only have a million or so people in them.
Sacramento would be a good
Oh,
place.
God, no.
With the Kings rising up, man.
Sacramento's an asshole. God, I lived there for many years. It sucks. Let's talk USFL coming up this weekend. Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, you have the Gamblers taking on the Stars. The over-under is 44.5. The spread is Stars -2.5. I thought the Stars would be one of the better teams in the league. They haven't been all that great. They've lost 2 straight games since beating the Showboats of Memphis in week 1. The Showboats are the worst team in the league. They're awful. That win means nothing. But the Gamblers also, not great. So I'm just going to roll with the fact that the Stars are not as bad as they've played, and they're going to get this game. So I'm going to go Stars -2.5 against the Gamblers from Houston. Jeremy.
Even the USFL team names are stupid. They're
Showboats
terrible.
Is dumb.
Yeah.
Stars they're basic and boring. Don't they have a team that's like, don't they have a Panthers or something already as well?
Michigan Panthers.
Yeah, Michigan.
The XFL gave us
Maulers.
The USFL gave us the Sea Dragons and the Battle Hawks and the Vipers. What? A showboat. Yay. They need some rebranding.
Oh, by the way, next year they will be adding the Memphis Merry Maids.
That's my new favorite team.
And the Milwaukee Milk Toast will be joining the league as well. Merry Maids versus Milk Toast. It is a fight for the ages coming up in the USFL.
Put a USFL team or XFL team in San Diego. There you go.
Yeah.
Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Pacific time, 7:30 East. You have the Michigan Panthers -6.5 against the Showboats. I think it's such a short price, my friends. The Showboats had a better showing in week 3 after they got destroyed. The Showboats scored 2 points against the Stallions. They lost 42-2 week 2. They did better, put in a different quarterback, but still, the Showboats suck. And the Panthers can play good defense. I think the Showboats are going to struggle to score just like they did against the Stallions. I like the Panthers here big, something like 30-14, 27-17. Panthers -6.5 is my pick here against the Boats.
All right. Got any more?
Okay, the story of the league so far, in my estimation, is the oldest quarterback in the league who's played forever in the CFL, who has 3 names. And I am speaking of McLeod Bethel Thompson. Yeah, I know. It's not exactly a household name.
Yeah.
It's not like he's, Brett Favre.
The NFL draft was last weekend.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Let's go.
We got like a minute and a half.
Breakers -2.5 against the Generals. And my pick of the week, the Stallions beat the Maulers easy. It's -8. I see them winning by 14-20. There are my picks. What do you have to say about the NFL draft in 90 seconds or left?
I think Stetson Bennett was a steal of the draft.
Might be. Those New Orleans Saints. Canny, those New Orleans Saints. Canny.
I think Pittsburgh had an under-the-radar really good draft.
Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh.
I
did a
think
really
the
good job.
Packers and the Patriots both had crap drafts.
And I think Detroit after
Patriots
the
got
first
the best
round,
DB in the draft class.
So what? Everything else was a reach. Jeremy, you were saying?
I questioned Detroit's picks at first in their first round, but then they redeemed everything they did the rest of the draft. They had a great draft.
Detroit's scary good. Detroit is
Fantastic draft.
scary good coming into next year. I love them as a playoff team. And I think Green Bay might be under their – can you imagine if the Detroit Lions have the Packers under their thumb for a decade? It could happen.
Did you guys see that Jordan Love extension? That 1 year, $22.5 million extension he got?
Yeah.
Weird extension for it.
Not a lot of confidence there.
1 minute.
So was that price somewhere in between the tag and the option?
I'm guessing so.
Here's a question that I have before we go. How many more losing seasons can Bill Belichick have in New England?
I give
Before they
him
let him
Because
go?
they're now the
Maybe
worst
3.
team in that division.
I give him 2, maybe 3.
Yeah. After a couple more losing seasons, they're going to think he lost his touch, and they'll move on.
All right, while I'm still here, bet the Dubs to beat the Lakers, bet the Knicks to beat the Heat, bet the Nuggets to beat the Suns, and bet the Celtics to beat the
Are
Sixers.
you giving betting advice on this
Yes.
betting show? All right, good to know.
Wow.
Y'all can bet we'll be back next week.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can. Yes, you can.
That's good. I like that. I like that.
The over-under on whether or not Rocky makes the show.
Oh,
is what
there's
I
a
would
good bet.
say.
Yeah.
That is
The
a good bet.
over-under on Rocky. Because God knows where he is. I ask Christian all the time. Christian,
He's at the bank. He's at the bank.
I say, where's your dad? And he goes, I don't know.
Mm.
Is he in the United States?
He's at the bank. He was home right before the show.
He might be in Mexico.
Maniac Cop 5.
All right, everyone. We are still line. We'll see you guys
Oh, no,
next week.
Billy Bob has